Ethnic films are interesting to write. I mean, I've done a lot of them. Under Fire, which took place in Nicaragua, which we're going to hear a little of that music. Wind in the Line, which took place in Morocco. Let's see, where did Sand Pebbles in China, Tora, 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 that's obvious. Chairman was in China. Where else? I've been all over the world in these things. A few in England, Great Train Robbery. And it's all the requests you get for the ethnic film. It's a very interesting story. A few years ago, many years ago, I should say, they were making a film about the French Revolution, and the producer called the composer into the office and said, "Now listen, we're making this film about the French Revolution, so I think you should use lots of French horns in the orchestra." Now, how can you say no to a request like that? In the case of Under Fire, they did something which they do in a lot of pictures. They temp track it, which means before they turn the picture over to the composer, they show it to the studio. And naturally, directors are very insecure people. There's a couple here tonight, so hope they're still my friends after that. That's right, composers are insecure too. More so, they have to work with the directors. Anyway, it just goes down the line, you see, the insecurity. I guess it starts with the guy with the money. Anyway, in the case of Under Fire, they tracked this picture with some ethnic music from the Andes. Now, any of you who had geography, and I think that most of you have had geography, know that the Andes Mountains, particularly around Chile, are quite a distance from Nicaragua. But the music really had the right feel and the right sound using these panpipes and these ethnic things. And I was quite intrigued with it. And I remember the executive in charge of the studio said to me, "That's pretty good, lean on it." So yeah, I sort of got this order from God to use it, so I didn't have a lot of choice, so I used these instruments. And I called here in London, and I found two people who played these panpipes, which is very unusual, but here they were in England, not in the Andes. And proceeded to write the score, but I said, prior to writing, I said to the director, I said, "You know that there is a geographical problem. I mean, this music will be influenced by Andean music, and we are in Nicaragua. Never mind, nobody will know the difference." I said, "Are you sure?" He said, "I'm sure." Did the picture was a success, the music was a big success. About 4 years later, I was doing a seminar at UCLA, and afterwards I was walking out, and some young man comes up to me in a Latin accent and says, "Do you know the music you did for Under Fire was from the Andes?" And I said, "Where have you been? I've been waiting for 4 years for you."